Secret societies have been around as long as civilization itself. If you believe a hidden hand is manipulating the world, or that certain groups of people have information that is purposely being hidden from the public, you are far from wrong. There have been hundreds of secret groups formed for a multitude of reasons. By the very nature of them being secret, we can never know the true number. Sometimes the truth leaks out. Cases like Gary McKinnon and famously Bob Lazar, among many other whistleblowers, hackers and supporters of the idea that it is the right of all to know the secrets that are being kept. Now a new name joins the list: Jason Rice, a veteran of the 20 and Back program, which has sent many unsuspecting volunteers on a shocking tour of duty through the cosmos. So let's take a look. Welcome to IF, videos on history, mystery and the strange. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a video again. A new insider has come forward to reveal his experience within the secret space program. Jason Rice is a veteran of the 20 and Back program, which has sent many unsuspecting volunteers on a shocking tour of duty through space. Much of what he brings forward corroborates the testimonies of several other SSP whistleblowers. Jason claims he was identified as an intuitive empath known as an IE and enrolled into the experimental behavioral study and recruited into the MyLab program back in 1977, where he worked and trained alongside other gifted children in Jacksonville, Florida. 1986 marked the end of an 8-year MyLab training regime, and at the age of 13, he was assigned to active duty in a 20 and Back program. Jason began specialized training in 1994 to serve as an officer in the ground forces of the Interplanetary Defense and Reaction Forces, also known as IDAF. This secret space program was operated while he was a student at Florida Tech. Jason wrote a statement before he went public. It reads,
"No one owns disclosure. Many people do not know who I am, so let me share a few words of introduction. My name is Jason Rice, and I recently came into public awareness on the Gaia series, Cosmic Disclosure. This is the platform that I chose to go public for the first time about my experiences in MyLab and SSP programs, at risk to my personal safety and my professional life, working as a multidisciplinary civil and electrical engineer for over 21 years. I decided in 2017 to go public because I feel it is time to disclose my involvement in an ongoing unacknowledged special access program with the explicit hope of contributing valuable information to the disclosure effort. When deciding upon going public with my experiences, I was fully aware of the potential ramifications from various governments and non-government agencies involved with the SSP. The agency's typical whistleblower discredit playbook includes the usual media manipulation, civil legal actions, slander, ridicule, and even perhaps threats as a result of my coming forward. I did not, however, imagine that another SSP veteran would fulfill the role of bullying, ridicule, civil legal action, and manipulation of alternative media to further a narrative, agenda, and/or opinion. At 10:46 a.m. on October 3rd, 2018, I was served with a legal letter from the attorney of James Corey Good, mere hours before my interview with Jimmy Church on Fade to Black. A copy of this letter is included within an article. The main goal of the coming forward with my experiences is about contributing to the goal of full disclosure. There are many voices out there who have spoken about the SSP and other classified programs that date back to the late 1980s. Many more are in a position to come out but are cautious because of the ridicule and overtly aggressive behaviors from within the Truth Seeker community, not to mention the very real threats from the targeting of officers from the SSP involved in government and non-government agencies alike. Whistleblowers and insiders have a tremendous amount of information to contribute. The SSP puzzle has many pieces and many compartmentalized parts. I do not pretend to know all of the thousands of people that have been involved or are involved The secrecy within the SSP is deliberate in order to specifically restrict knowledge in the event of leaks and/or whistleblower testimony. There are many factions with assets, people, interest, and agendas within the SSP. The best thing we can do to further the disclosure movement is to encourage those who are willing to come forward to do so. This movement is far bigger than any one person, group, narrative, or interest. In September 2017, I was invited by Gaia to be a guest on Cosmic Disclosure. I was told shortly after that Corey Good refused to appear with me on the show. Gaia conveyed my offer to meet and discuss my experiences, but this opportunity was declined by Corey Good. I am not alone in this arbitrary blacklisting experience either. There are other whistleblowers that were similarly blacklisted long before I ever stepped foot on Gaia property. It is not my place to provide their names, and those who experienced it firsthand will speak out if that is their wish. The point here is that SSP Whistleblower decided for you what information you are given. Gaia was hopeful that Corey would reconsider his position on my testimony, given Corey Good originally refused to appear with Henry Smith on the series as well. Honoring Corey's request, Gaia then invited me to appear on a different series in February 2018. In March 2018, Corey Good filed for copyright protection with the USPTO for intellectual property protection of the terms 20 and back, SSP, Secret Space Program, and countless other topics and areas of interest. No one owns these terms or programs, nor their efforts to bring this information forward to trademark them and thus control or restrict the use of them. The terms 20 and back, SSP, Secret Space Program, and the countless other topics and areas of interest by Corey Good is contrary to what the truth-seeking community has been working towards for decades. The SSP whistleblower community is growing, and there is a shared bond among the veterans of these programs. As an SSP veteran, I can tell you from personal experience how appreciative and thankful I am for those who went on public record before I did. These include Mark Richards, Randy Kramer, Tony Gonzalez, Michael Ralph, Org Tellez, and many, many others. Thousands have been and are currently participating in secret space programs around the globe. For them to express their personal experiences and testimonies does not equate to plagiarism. To be clear, I do not harbour any ill feelings or intentions toward Corey Good. I also do not ask for, condone, or support any acts of violence, bullying, or vigilantism. It is my hope that bringing these issues into the light will generate meaningful, loving, and respectful discourse about the strength of many voices, and to end all attempts at securing intellectual property protection of common use terms by anyone. I am sincerely grateful for the opportunity to disclose my SSP experiences and genuinely encourage other whistleblowers to come forward and share their own. I ask for your support by reposting this article and by proclaiming that no one owns disclosure. The control of these terms should not rest in the hands of one person, group, or corporation to decide what is and is not deemed accurate, true, or appropriate. We've all had plenty of time to digest and experience firsthand this kind of censorship. The placement of these terms should remain clearly and solidly in the public domain. Sincerely yours, Jason Rice.
This was then followed by an interview that was divisive, some believing the man's story, others saying that he is a fraud looking to cash in on the growing popularity of UFO and extraterrestrial based content. OneStellar.com analysed the interview and posted their thoughts on it, saying, "During his testimony, so far presented in the most linear fashion, we observed that Jason Rice maintained what would be considered positive body language. He leans in towards the interviewer, he nods a lot, and maintains rigid eye contact. All good indicators for honesty. Well, maybe we should not jump to a conclusion just yet." According to most experts in this field, over a brief encounter, yes, this could be taken as a very positive indicator. However, there is no academic research which supports this as a fact. It is generally agreed that maintaining eye contact for too long is a definite warning sign. Maintained over a lengthy or several lengthy interviews of between 30 minutes and an hour, it is a really hefty red flag. In fact, Jason rarely searches his memory for answers when on these Gaia TV episodes, generally responding to questions immediately and without pause. This contrasts very heavily with the unscripted Fade to Black radio interview with Jimmy Church, including many questions submitted by a home audience. Here you can hear Jason stumbling over many of his answers, a lot of umming and ahhing, as you would expect when being probed with questions that have arisen in the minds of viewers over the period of this exposure. A few clatters and bangs. Apparently, a door fell on him. His phone lamp began repeating several overlaid voice messages as though he was in a call center somewhere, and someone, a cleaner or maybe a janitor, was heard whistling in the background. This giving the interview elements of spontaneity and making it appear less scripted and more honest. Maintaining eye contact for these unnaturally long periods is a major cause for concern, and it does give us one very big tell. According to Julius Fast, medical doctor, in his seminal book Body Language, there is a phenomena which he describes as the liar's blink, where forced eye contact is confronted with the efforts of the subconscious mind to look away. A subject will blink much more often than is natural, and often for longer than natural periods. A natural blink is around 1/40th of a second long. This Jason Rice does, and roughly every fourth blink is of an extraordinarily long length. He maintains this eye contact, which is stage performance. In real situations, we pointedly avoid staring at people in this manner, and it can be read as dehumanizing. It is reserved for animals at the zoo. In bygone times, we may have stared this way at colored people in America's South or at people in a freak show. It's actually really disconcerting if you find yourself in this position or try it. It becomes uncomfortable very quickly. It is natural to make initial contact, recognizing that a person is there with us. We then tend to become as expressive with our eyes as many people do with their hands when we talk, and again here, to the trained observer, this can be laden with clues. What do you think? Is the man telling the truth, and was he part of a secret military space program, or is he trying to pull the wool over everyone's eyes? Is this an attempt to become a celebrity UFO witness and make some money off of a work of fiction by passing it off as fact? Head on over to Gaia and check out the interview, and you decide. Let me know what you think in the comments below. As always, if you like what I do here on the channel, hit that red button, like and share. You can catch the latest by searching We Are If. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.